This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. In our national COVID-19 update, 28 new cases of the novel coronavirus reported in country for Monday, March 29th. The bulk of those cases on Grand Bahama, the Ministry of Health in its COVID-19 update number 368, confirming 17 cases for the nation's second city. 5 cases each on New Providence and Abaco, and 1 case on Eleuthera. 1 here in the capital and 1 on Eleuthera have a history of travel. These 28 cases push the total case count to 9,119. Of that, 280 are active cases, 31 of which are in hospital, 29 moderately ill, and 2 in the intensive care unit at Doctors Hospital. Health officials confirming that these 28 new cases emerged after 110 tests were completed. 15 males, and 13 females test confirmed positive. 79 test results returned negative, and there were 3 repeated tests. In total, some 75,729 tests have been completed since the start of the pandemic in March 2020. The country's death toll remains at 188, and there's 15 deaths under investigation, with 34 recoveries on Monday. Cases stand at 8,597. Another traffic fatality here in the capital, claiming the life of an adult male who succumbed to his injuries in hospital. This traffic accident on Myler-Butler Highway on Monday, shortly after 2 p.m. That's when police say they were summoned to the Sir Myler-Butler Highway, and officers on arrival found a male who was ejected from his vehicle being attended to by an emergency medical technician. The male at the time was conscious and was able to identify himself as the driver of a green Chevy S10. Initial investigating revealing that the victim was traveling north along the highway in the western lane when he lost control of his vehicle, which flipped over. He was ejected from the vehicle and, as a result, received serious injuries. He was subsequently transported to the hospital and later died as a result of the injuries he sustained. 11 people appeared in the magistrate's court on Monday for their alleged part in being in possession of fake COVID-19 tests. However, only 9, including a juvenile girl, were formally charged before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt and Deputy Chief Magistrate Andrew Forbes in court numbers 8 and 9. This past Friday, March 26, police say the individuals attempted to travel to various family islands from the Lynden Pindling International Airport with falsified COVID-19 diagnostic tests. 40-year-old Scott Davis, a fisherman from South Andros, pleaded guilty to possession of a forged document and uttering a forged document when he appeared before Deputy Chief Magistrate Andrew Forbes. Davis's sentencing was deferred to April 7th, and Magistrate Forbes granted him bail in the amount of $2,000. Also appearing before the Deputy Chief Magistrate were 41-year-old Raquella Smith, 23-year-old Kevin Taylor, 37-year-old Patrice Roll, 24-year-old Rhodesia Munnings, who all pleaded not guilty to possession of forged documents and uttering forged documents. They opted to have their case heard in the magistrate's court and were each granted $2,000 bail with 1 or 2 suretors. They returned to court for trial on July 28th, appearing before the chief magistrate were 24-year-old Samuel Coburg, 30-year-old Elroy Roll, and 17-year-old juvenile, who all pleaded guilty to their charges. They were released on their own recognizance and returned to court for sentencing Thursday, April 1st. 25-year-old Janae Jolly also appeared before the chief magistrate and pleaded not guilty. She was subsequently remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until Thursday, April 1st for a bail hearing. Meantime, Sonovia Smith and Kenwood McKinsey were not charged as they could not enter pleas, as the chief magistrate pointed out a technicality on the dockets that no witnesses were identified to testify. The pair returns to court on April 15th. They were both granted bail in the amount of $3,500. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.